Good morning, Councilmember Bonds, and good morning to Director Donald and her senior leadership team. Housing authorities across the country face a similar dilemma. Federal monies are dwindling, public housing units are in disrepair, and especially in big cities like ours, renting a 2 or 3 bedroom home, heck, even a studio, is just simply out of reach for minimum wage workers. But there's a big difference between the District of Columbia and all those other housing authorities. We put a ton of local money into the DC Housing Authority. In the current fiscal year, we put in $232 million. We put that money both to repair public housing units and to help people rent apartments with vouchers. And so DC taxpayers, here's what you're getting in return. Housing authority residents who are living in unsafe, unsanitary, downright deplorable conditions, as the HUD report chronicled: mold, rodents, no locks on doors. And then for the $180 million that this council appropriates and taxpayers you give to us in local vouchers, we have residents literally waiting decades to get a voucher while millions of your taxpayer dollars go unspent. And the cherry on top here is that due to our gentrifying city, DCHA properties like Greenleaf, which if you don't know is right across the street from Nats Park, and DCHA's own headquarters on North Capitol Street, are being just handed over to developers in sweetheart deals that will make them millions because we just can't afford to keep them any other way. Now, Director Donald has been quoted as saying, and I believe the Ward 2 council member said this, it was very prominent in the opening response to the HUD audit, that the findings were, quote, not a wake-up call to anyone. Really? I mean it, really? Yes, certainly DCHA residents have known that the authority is absolutely a mess because it takes like a papal intervention, like a pleading with the director and the board of commissioners in person to just get mold removed from your unit. But did we realize it was because DCHA was totally out of compliance with HUD financial and operational regulations, that the authority doesn't even have an accurate list of vacant units, which number in the thousands, that DCHA is out of compliance with HUD rules for the voucher program? Its finances, its record keeping, its approach to property management, its procurement practices are either non-existent or in defiance of federal and local law. And let me say this, I'm sympathetic to Director Donald in the sense that you were handed this mess. And as HUD points out, you have a different background. You don't have the public housing finance and management background this mess requires. And I know you're doing the best you can, but back to the wake-up call, the Bowser administration has been in office 8 years. Its DEMPED director has a seat on the Housing Authority board. If this was not a wake-up call, then why hasn't there been progress in 8 years? And so let me end, Councilmember Bonds, by saying this. HUD says that DCHA's mission is to provide decent, safe, sanitary housing, maintain 8,000 public housing units in compliance with federal and local law, administer the voucher program consistent with those laws, and be in good financial and procurement practices. Everything I just said isn't happening. It's in disarray. And here's the thing, as a Ward 2 member who preceded me said, there's a real human impact here on people who are our most vulnerable, who have the biggest health issues, who are relying on us. And we're failing them. We've been failing them for the 8 years I've been here. And unless something drastically changes, we'll fail them for generations to come. We need wholesale reform. not an army of expensive consultants. Because I'll preview what's to come since I won't be here. We're going to spend tens of millions of dollars on CSG and others. There's going to be a lot of reports. And Potomac Gardens, Benning Terrace, and Lincoln Heights residents will still be dealing with unsafe, unsanitary, undignified places to live. Thanks a lot.